This is stupid. This is stupid. Every video I make feels like it's stupid. I feel like an idiot when I turn on this camera and start trying to make content. And I feel like I am no one who should be sharing advice. I am a degenerate, or ex-degenerate, I should say, addict, dropout, delinquent, loser who just by some, I don't know, fortune, luck, whatever, I was able to turn my life around. And every time I turn on this camera and look through my list of video ideas, I feel like, why would anyone listen to me? And I start to question what the hell I'm doing. I really start questioning everything. Literally everything that has led me up to this point, I question all the time. And more so whenever I have to start recording a video. And since I've chose this path, I made my bed and I have the sleep in it. And I know that the only way that I can continue to keep doing this is by putting out content. And then I think about, like, what kind of value can I give someone? What kind of content can I put out there that would be beneficial? What kind of bullshit am I talking about right now? I don't know. That's what I question every single time I turn on this camera. And it is exhausting sometimes, if I'm being honest. Just working so damn hard to make everything look right and get everything just how I want it so that I can start recording. There's just been so many different things and problems that I've had to go through in order to try to make this work. It feels like sometimes when you're really, really, really desperate to see results, when you really want to be successful in whatever it is you're trying to do, that's when it feels like the world is against you the most. And that's when you start questioning yourself the most. And I believe that that's what's happening to me right now. And, you know, I'm not one to be superstitious or feel like the universe is with me or for me, because I'm so small in this whole thing. When you really think about it, we are just a speck of sand in this vast universe that spans millions of oceans wide. For me to have such an ego to think that that universe is against me is kind of silly, but just so many obstacles and so many things that you have to work through and get through in order to make things work and to make things happen. It's never easy. Nothing ever feels easy. At least nothing worth obtaining has ever felt easy for me. Everything has always been a grind. Everything has always been a lot of work. And right now I feel that I'm in this state of grinding and working and trying to get to the next level, to the next stage of my life, to the next thing that I want to accomplish. And it's just been a uphill battle the entire time. It's not as noticeable when you're on that side of the camera, because there's so much that happens in my day-to-day life that is not accounted for, that I don't record, that I don't keep track of, that I don't share, I should say, right? All that stuff is unseen. And then I get on here and I turn on a camera and I talk for 10 to 20 minutes sometimes, and I make a video and I share that with the world. And before I actually share that with the world, there's a bunch of editing. And before I even start making the video, there's planning and notes and things that I think I want to talk about. But most of the time I end up ad-libbing. But nonetheless, what you get is a polished, trimmed down, cleaned up version of whatever I had on my mind when I decided to record that video. There's just so much that doesn't go seen in the process of the grind that so many of us don't see when other people are successful, that so many of us don't understand. And we feel that when we try to do something and it's hard and it's difficult, that it's only us that goes through that, because we see other people who are just so successful and it seems like they do it overnight. And, you know, it goes to that behind every overnight success, there's 10 years of hard work. It really does seem that way sometimes. And we're presented with a lot of outliers, people who are in the top 1% of certain fields, right? Whether it be financially or athletically or even software developmentally. You see a lot of the people that make it or are big in any field always seem to be the very unique individuals, the very special ones. It doesn't account for all the rest of the people that do the same thing, that either are successful enough or not successful at all, or just as successful but quiet about it. We set a standard for ourselves to try to be as good as those individuals that we see on social media, on TV, whatever. We believe that that's what we have to live up to. And whenever we try to set out to do something, we don't feel like we're adequate enough. We feel like what we're doing is failure compared to their success. And I made a video way back when I talked about like comparing your own success to somebody else's success and feeling like a failure because you just can't be as successful as someone else. And that my success that I've had seems like a massive success to some other people, but the success that I want to have feels like a massive success to me, or a massive accomplishment that I feel that is out of reach. I feel that I might not ever be able to get to. And that's how someone else that might be watching my videos, who's in a stage in their life when they're just getting started, whether it be with YouTube or learning how to code or getting their life together, that they feel like they can never get to my level. We're always looking to people who are in the positions that we want to be in, but we forget that they went through the grind that we have to go through if we want to get to that position. And there's something about embracing the grind, the cheesy, like, don't worry about the destination, enjoy the journey stuff. But the truth is that if it wasn't for the destination, most of us would not go on the journey. And many of us don't want to bother with the journey and don't want to try unless we are enticed and persuaded because we're really interested in the destination. Beyond metaphors, talking like in a real situation right now, is that the journey of this traveling is where a lot of the magic is happening for me and my family. And when we set out to go to certain destinations, we're excited to get there. But once we're there and we're there for a little while, it kind of loses its luster. It loses the whole magic that we put behind it. And it's happening right now with Bali. Me and my wife really wanted to come to Bali. We heard a lot of good things about it. Everyone will tell you it's like where the digital nomads go, and it's this beautiful island, and it's just wonderful. And there's a lot of nice things about it. We put Bali on a pedestal, and we finally got here. And after a week or two now that we've been here, we're getting pretty bored of Bali. We're getting pretty bored of the destination, and we want to continue on our journey. And that happens with so many other things. And what I started this video out with was just being frustrated on how much the grind is, but also like being appreciative of the grind and looking forward to the grind, because that's where you need to put the effort. That's where you need to show up every day. That's where, when motivation doesn't do it for you, you have to stay disciplined and stay in the grind, and you have to do it through the good days and the bad days. And if you really want to get to what you want to get to, you kind of have to be off balance. You can't be balanced in the sense of like work-life balance, because if you have a goal and there's all these other distractions and all these other things that you want to try to balance out, and you really want to get to that goal, you're only going to get to that goal by working towards it. And the more you work towards it, the quicker you'll get to it, or the more chances you'll have to reach that goal in the time frame that you probably want to do it. And if you tell yourself that you're going to be balanced and you're going to chill and you're going to like try to grind a little bit, you might be able to get to your goal, but it's not going to be how you think it's going to be, because the grind sucks. I mean, there's some times when you're like in a state of flow and you're really looking forward to getting something complete, or you're really looking to like just cross something off of that list and move on to the next thing because you're excited to work on that next thing, and that gets you closer and closer. So there is some excitement, and I don't want to say that the grind just sucks all the time, because sometimes I really enjoy it. And sometimes I hate it and I don't want to do it. It feels like that grind and that uphill battle and never being able to make it to where you want to make it will never get there. But then something magical happens. Then you actually accomplish one of the things that you set out to do. And then something switches in your head and you start to realize that, oh, I can do that thing. Oh, I can accomplish goals. Oh, that thing was super hard until I did it. And now I did it. And I understand that I can do it again and I can do it bigger. And that's kind of what keeps you going and what keeps you wanting to get to the next level and what keeps you wanting to get more success, wanting to grow and learn new things and build businesses and I guess evolve. Because I think there's something about sitting around that everyone thinks is the ultimate goal. Like a lot of people think that retirement is the goal, or making $1 million, or I guess $10 million now so that you don't have to work anymore. And I like the work. I like the grind. No matter how much it sucks sometimes or no matter how good it is sometimes, like that's where the magic happens. And I think that's where people tell you got to appreciate the journey. And there's always going to be obstacles in everything you do. And sometimes it is going to feel like the world is against you. But if you've got things that you want to accomplish and you're working towards certain things, like just keep going. And when you get those things that you've been working so hard for, you'll feel a sense of satisfaction and a sense of reward and a sense of accomplishment. But just know that lasts for a very little time, and you got to start working towards the next thing and start figuring out what the other obstacles are going to be and start getting through those obstacles. And when the world feels like it's against you, put your head down and keep on working. That's ultimately all you need to do if you want to be successful. And I think that I've cheered myself up after talking about that. So with all that said, even though I've been going through a lot trying to get stuff done, I'm feeling pretty damn good. And I hope you are too. And if you're in the grind right now and you're going through it, I hope this video helped you a bit. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.